Hi everyone, I'm Grace. I'm an LRCC member with the Squam Lakes Association. I am out on Squam Lake in the little whaler. Don't worry, I am in neutral and no one is around. But I am on my way to do one of my favorite LRCC duties in this summer, which may be surprising to you, cleaning the bathrooms. So we have to go out to all the campsites, clean the bathrooms at Chamberlain Reynolds, Moon Island, and Bowman Island. And one of the reasons, well, there are many reasons, this is one of my favorite duties. One is that I just get to spend the day outside on the boat and on the trails. And two is that we have composting toilets, which are just so cool, and I'm so excited and thrilled that the Squam Lakes Association has these composting toilets because they are really environmentally friendly and just plain cool. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about one of our composting toilets today. This is one of our beautiful composting toilets on Chamberlain Reynolds. This is right by the beach and our Worcester 1 campsite. So this is an example of one of the Clivus Multrum composting toilets. So this is the backside of our composting toilet on Chamberlain Reynolds. The toilet parts are up on the second level and they drop down into this chamber here. So down here, this is where all of the magic happens. So this is a Clivus Multrum, and I believe the company is also Clivus Multrum Incorporated, but that literally translates to inclined compost room. Clivus is Latin for inclined, and Multrum is a Swedish word for compost room. And it is literally what it sounds like. Inside this top chamber, this is where all of the toilets deposit their treasures, and it's at a bit of an incline here, and it slowly moves through this top chamber into this bottom chamber. And the reason it's at an incline is because one of the genius parts of this is that it separates urine from feces, and that's really important in keeping odors down. If you watch my other just backyard compost video, you may remember that aerobic decomposition is less smelly than anaerobic, and you find anaerobic when bacteria is submerged in water, and so that can happen if there's too much urine. So there's a pump down here that can work to remove some of that liquid, but then the incline also helps. And so this also goes through the same process as the backyard compost. It's aerobic mesophilic decomposition, which just means the bacteria uses oxygen at middle temperatures, 65 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And it just stays in here for a really long time, separates out, and then is ready to be used as compost. Left alone, urea, which is the main component of urine, would degrade into ammonia and carbon dioxide. But with the magic bacterial action, it degrades into nitrites and nitrates, which are nutrients that plants really need to grow. In most fertilizers, you often find nitrogen and phosphorus because those are often the limiting actors in plant growth, which is what makes the liquid product of the decomposition of urine such a good compost tool. The feces component of the Clivus decomposition results in a dry product that also provides really helpful nutrients for plants. Once all of that urine is drained away, the bacteria works to decompose all that organic material, releasing all the water. And fecal matter is mostly water, so the volume of feces is reduced by about 90%. So that volume just gets smaller and smaller in here, which is why it doesn't build up so much. Most people only empty these around every 2 years. I just want to give a warning for anyone watching. I'm about to open this bottom chamber, so if you don't want to see that, stop the video. But I hope you do stay because it's really cool, and also it's not that gross in the bottom chamber. So this is the second chamber. So it just looks like wood chips that are a little wet. I wish I could send you the smell because it's non-existent. It smells fresh as a daisy. Once it moves through this bottom chamber, all of the everything's decomposed. There are no odors released because the bacteria remove all of that, and it just smells One reason we have composting toilets at our sites is because the bathrooms are in locations where it's hard to connect to sewage systems. But another reason is because of the environmental benefits of composting toilets, including water waste reduction. Toilets are some of the biggest sources of water waste in our homes and commercial facilities because older toilets can use up to 7 gallons of water per flush, and even newer models still use around 1.6 gallons. Since the average person flushes about 5 times a day, those gallons really add up. We just received a grant to install a new Clivus Multrum composting toilet on Bowman Island. Currently we have a bucket composting toilet system. Our Trails and Access Manager, Katri Gurney, is going to tell you a little bit more about where we got the grant and why we want to replace our current system.
Hi everyone, I'm Katri Gurney. I'm the Trails and Access Manager here at the Squam Lakes Association. I'm just here to talk to you about the new composting Clivus toilet that we are getting installed on Bowman Island. It's super exciting because the current system that we have is a bucket system that I don't feel appropriately handles the capacity that area receives. There are 3 campsites, and additionally the beach and Sunset Rock are proximate to this toilet. So a Clivus toilet will increase the capacity that it can handle in terms of humans who are depositing their waste on Bowman Island. The Clivus is funded by the Moose Plate grant from New Hampshire, so it is covered by, which covers conservation projects. But we are looking for additional funds to cover the structure and to cover labor to install the toilet. But it's super, super exciting.
I hope that next time you're out at Chamberlain Reynolds or anywhere else with a composting facility, you have a greater appreciation of this technology. If you frequent an area that has a composting toilet, try to figure out how it works. If you know of a place that you think would be a good spot for composting toilets, but you see a flushing toilet facility, try to figure out why. Investigate whether park authorities are thinking about installing one, or if there are grants in the area that could cover installation costs. Another big question I bet you're wondering is, can you install composting toilets in your home? Because this is something that I've thought about. The answer is yes. It requires some work, and a lot of homes might not be well set up for it. I have included some resources, including the pros and cons of installing a composting toilet in your home and what that might look like. My hope is that in the future, homes will be constructed with composting toilets in mind, and maybe we can create a better system for including those in more regular lifestyles besides just parks. Another great way to reduce your water waste if you can't install a composting toilet is to get into the practice of, if it's yellow, let it mellow, aka don't flush every time you pee. This will greatly reduce your water use, and it doesn't have any effect on your life otherwise. Let us know if you have any questions about composting toilets. We are always excited to talk about it. This has been Share, Learn, Adventure. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next segment.